I can be passionate in the Lord for my acts of service that I do for other people. But how passionate am I in regards to my prayer life or my Bible reading? Don't make the mistake that Saul and the Israelites did and cherry pick and stop short. Live every aspect of your life to the fullest for Jesus Christ. Verse 22 and 23 says, And Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great a delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than to sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected you from being king. So thirdly, we see here this morning, God delights more in the inward heart than in the outward action. You see, there was two ways to get rid of those oxen and them sheep. Saul could have done it the right way. He could have destroyed them in the battle as the Lord commanded, or he could sacrifice them all to the Lord after the fact. That would have destroyed them. It sounds kind of biblical. It sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Now, knowing about what we know about Saul elsewhere in Scripture, right, and considering the fact that he just lied in verse 13, I'm not entirely sure of the validity of his statement when he said, I was going to sacrifice all that. But let's assume for the sake of argument he was being truthful. One of them choices was God's command, which was to kill them all in the battle. And the other choice was man's plan, man's super Christian plan, which was to kill it all by sacrifice to the Lord. So not only do you fulfill God's command by destroying the oxen and the sheep, but you also get some extra brownie points for Christ, for God, because you're going above and beyond by offering them as a sacrifice, right? That's the logic I'm thinking that we got going on in our heads right now. I mean, you're going to have sweet smelling savors going up into heaven all night with that kind of offering. That's a big deal. It's going to be great. No, it's not. God's command will always supersede man's plan. I'll say that again. God's command will always supersede man's plan. God's thoughts on the matter are going to take precedence over your thoughts, over my thoughts. God was clear. And so